In this video, we're going to order numbers using place value. Let's read the directions. Order the numbers from smallest to largest. Use the place value chart to organize your work. So for any two numbers, one of them is smaller than the other, unless the two numbers are equal. So we can, and this isn't true for all things, you could think about red and green, one of them isn't smaller. They're just different colors or different categories, but with numbers, our numbers are ordered and you can compare that ordering. So here we have a whole bunch of numbers, and I'm actually going to just put them all in this chart just as they appear. So we have 37, 87, 127, 131, 32, 139, 272, and 244. And we want to put them in the order from smallest to largest, or from, sometimes we say least to greatest. We usually say that more frequently when we get into other types of numbers. So how can we use this chart? Well, we can start with the hundreds place and see which numbers have values in the hundreds place. So let me highlight these. Okay. And I'm actually going to do this in a special way. Notice three numbers have ones in the hundreds place. I'm going to make them yellow. And two numbers have twos in the hundreds place. The other three numbers have, we don't write them, but they have zeros in the hundreds place because nothing is written there. Okay, so we can already say that we know these three numbers are smaller than the rest of the numbers. We know these three numbers in yellow are smaller than the numbers in blue. And we determine that just by looking at the hundreds place value. So this is going to be our general strategy, is you can start with the largest place value and then start grouping the numbers to compare them. Okay, so let's start with the smallest. You could actually start with the smallest or the largest. I'm going to start with the smallest numbers. So those are the ones with zeros in the hundreds place. So I know these are the three smallest, but I want to figure out where they are in connection to each other. Okay, so here we have 3 tens, so I'm going to look at the next largest place. Okay, the ones don't really matter yet. Okay, so I have 3 tens, 8 tens, and 3 tens here. Well, I know that 8 is the biggest of these three, 87, because it has an 8 in the tens place, which is larger than 3 in the tens place. So I'm going to go ahead and number this 3. That's the third number in our list. Now these each have a 3 in the tens place, so that means I have to look at the ones place. Okay, so I said at first it didn't matter, but now it does because they match in the larger place. So we have a 2 and a 7. So 2 is smaller. So this is our first number, this is our second number in the list, and this is the third. So let's go ahead and write those down. 32, 37, 87, comma. Okay, so we're creating a list, which is something we typically do, to put these in order. Now, let me change colors. Let's look at the ones that are in the hundreds place. So we know that these are in the middle, but how are they ordered with respect to each other? So they all have ones in the hundreds place. When we get to the tens, we have a 2, a 3, and a 3. Well, the 2 is smaller than the 3s, so we know in terms of the hundreds, this will be our first one in the hundreds place in the next subgrouping. Now we have 31 and 39, so for these we have to compare their ones place. 31 is smaller than 39, so this will be the second number in our next grouping, and this will be our third. So let's go ahead and list these. 127, 131, and 139. And now we have two more numbers to compare. 272 and 244. Okay. So they have the same hundreds value, if we compare their tens value, we see that 7 is greater than 4. So in this subgrouping, the largest subgrouping, this comes first, this is smaller, this is bigger. Looks like I'm out of room. I'm going to go to the next slide. 244, 272. So now we've listed all of these numbers from least to greatest.